On campaign with his father, Alexander had finally been given the chance to prove himself. Things were not always so harmonious between father and son. Alexander's fiercely protective mother Olympias was not Philip's only wife, nor was she a full-blooded Macedonian. At the wedding feast for Philip's 7th wife, the girl's father proposed a toast.
May the gods bless this union, and may it produce a legitimate Macedonian heir.
And what am I then? A bastard?
Philip rose, drew his sword, and advanced. Not on the man who had insulted his son, but against Alexander. Thoroughly drunk, the one-eyed conqueror tripped and fell flat on his face.
Here is the man who would lead you from Europe into Asia, and he can't even cross from one couch to the next!
Yet for every quarrel, there was a reconciliation. And Alexander once again rode at his father's side as Philip bore down on Greece. Philip had long wished to be master of the Greek world, and the wily campaigner had used all manner of diplomatic tricks to extend his influence to the south. For years, an uneasy peace abided. But now, the Greeks prepared to make one last stand against their would-be conqueror. Astride the road to Chaeronea, the Greek forces waited. On their right, the Athenians, their empire long diminished but their pride irrepressible. On their left, the Thebans, among their ranks the elite sacred band. From the north, their long pikes swaying above storms of dust, came the Macedonians. And on their flank, with full command of the king's finest cavalry, was Alexander.
Alexander, see those Thebans opposite your flank? I want you to break them. Then me and Parmenion can shatter the rest. Cleitus, keep an eye on the boy.
Aye, sir. Right, Alexander. Rule number 1 of pitched engagements. Control the ground, control the battle. You want to be fighting them out there, not fending them off from your camp.
Alexander, I hear you didn't lose a single wagon to those pilfering triballians. So you get a share of the spoils. Finally, something earned through your own sweat, not just your fortunate birth.
Finally, Cleitus, I am given the command I deserve! Oh, glorious day!
Aye, a fine day for all sons of Macedon. Listen up now. I think your father's about to give his speech.
Macedonians! I won't bore you with oratory. Let me just recall what these Greeks say about you. They say your victories were won through luck, not skill. They call you brigands, not soldiers. They say you plunder sanctuaries and debauch yourselves in holy shrines. They call you drunkards. They call you liars. They call you scum. They call me a barbarian. Me! A descendant of Heracles! Well, by the 12 gods, today I'll tear their tongues from their lying mouths and let them choke on their slander.
Hold the line there! The Greeks take the field, they'll come barreling into our camp next. We need to get men to the front lines faster. Put down some outposts on the route.
Oikodomeo. Dies episititsoma. Poiesu. Oikodomeo. Oikodomeo. Haire. Oikodomeo.
All of our efforts culminate here, Parmenion. When the Greeks finally submit, Persia will be next, and you will establish a foothold for us in Asia Minor.
So long as you are king, I know that Macedon will prosper.
Pay attention, boy. They're trying to turn their left flank. Sort it out.
Oikodomeo.
Prostagmata, tiesti. Ite Macedone.
His battle plan seems needlessly complex. Where is the glorious charge? A king should press the attack, always lead his men into the bloody fray.
Dead king leads nobody.
Prostagmata.
They're trying to push through the center. Philip, are you sure your boy is up to this?
You know, your father spent some time in Thebes as a youth. Learned half of his tactics there. Some right smart generals they've got. You take the Theban commanders out, and the rest will panic.
I have the strangest sensation, Cleitus. Like a gnawing in the pit of my stomach.
That's nervousness, Alexander. We mortals feel it all the time.
I have waited so long to show my father that I am worthy, but fortune is fickle. 1,000 things can happen in the chaos of arms.
You've been trained all your life for this. All those tutors Philip hired. All those sword masters and tacticians and riding instructors. There's no one more ready for war than you, lad.
Tiestin, as menos.
Why do you prolong the battle, father, rather than striking at once? Does that not simply feed the enemy's hopes?
I see those tutors of yours were a waste of money. Think, boy! Our men are professionals, hardened, drilled. The Greeks are amateurs. A longer battle favors us.
Chetoime. Oikodomeo.
Parmenion, if it comes to pass that I am no longer king, that boy will take my throne, and it'll fall to you to see that he fulfills my plans. Don't let him be led astray by wittering soothsayers or simpering poets or those preening friends of his. You advise him. You tell him straight. The lavender grows thick in these perfumed valleys, like a summer garden, like maidens by a stream. And we'll stomp it into ruin, as men do.
Prostagmata.
They're no Thracian warbands or Illyrian goat snatchers, these Thebans.
Tiestin.
They're proper soldiers. I lived among them, back when I had two eyes.
Oikodomeo.
Saw them batter their stuck-up rivals. Men worth killing.
Oikodomeo.
Don't foul this up, Alexander. Me and Parmenion have worked on this plan for days. We've worked on this invasion for years. It doesn't slip now.
Look at these Theban panoplies. Gleaming shields, ashwood spears, crested helmets that could make serving boys look like myrmidons. What do you want done with it all? One commander lies dead. Look how their ranks quiver. Only the sacred band remains. The Thebans' finest hoplites, unmatched in skill and strength. The men that laid low the Spartans. Another commander down. Well done, lad.
The pitiless spirits of death, those black-winged keres, stalk you, Thebans. Your commanders they drag by the feet down to the dismal halls of Hades. Flee now, before you join them in death. Against the finest warriors of Greece I have stood, and I was not found wanting.
You've achieved nothing yet, boy. Save the speeches and trophies for later. There are foes still to slay. Rip into their flank, Alexander, like gutting a pig.
They died well and deserve our respect. We shall send the panoplies back to Thebes. Stand tall, men! Imagine the terror those Greeks will feel. They entrusted their flank to the Thebans, but from the dust and tumult we will emerge, thundering forth the very image of death!
You chose this, Greeks. I didn't ask for your cities, or your treasures, or your love. I asked only that you recognize the law of power and submit.
At Chaeronea, amid the bodies skewered by pikes and mangled by swords, the city-states of Greece had their hopes of independence trampled into the mud. Philip could finally turn his gaze eastwards, to his long-held ambition of plundering the rich Persian Empire. His hopes, however, were suddenly and brutally snuffed out. An assassin's blade jammed fiercely between Philip's ribs. The Lion of Macedon bled out in the dust, a fate he had brought upon so many others. And so it came to pass that Alexander, nearly 20 summers of age, ascended to the throne of Macedon. The nobles swore him fealty, some gladly, some reluctantly. Some out of duty, and some out of calculation. Some were never given the choice, struck down on the new king's orders before they could cause trouble. Assassination, you see, was something of a staple of Macedonian politics. Equally routine was the propensity of Macedon's northern neighbors to invade whenever a king died, like jackals converging on a fresh carcass when a lion has moved away. The gleaming diadem of royalty set freshly upon his brow, Alexander marched north, where the first true test of his reign awaited.
Alexander, the border towns need your help. Fight beside me, Hephaistion, as we did when we were boys.
Ite Magadones! Alalay!
They've fled for now, but no doubt they'll be back to raid the towns.
I shall protect our people. Let Zeus bear witness. Hephaistion, dearest friend, will you stay and advise me?
Gladly, Alexander. I'll speak plainly as a true friend should. Wearing the crown is one thing, but only deeds will prove to your subjects that you can rule. Keep their towns safe, and when ready, strike against the tribes that ravage them. A letter from Parmenion. Being an unwavering servant to the realm of Macedon, and out of love for the late King Philip, I give my support to the rightful heir, Alexander. And in exchange, I will gladly accept command of the advance guard into Asia.
Scheming old curmudgeon. But I do need his support.
I hear of highwaymen and thugs menacing the roads around Pella. They do not fear you as they did your father. Send some men and show them your strength.
In time, these people will learn to respect my laws, not simply fear my strength. But for now, we show force, as was my father's way.
The northern tribes attack the border towns.
The road to Larissa is menaced by highwaymen. Helpless travellers mugged. Priestesses and temple maids robbed of their ritual vessels.
We leave no corner of this land to thugs and thieves.
The Dodonans write to you. They need laborers for, let's see, a temple of Zeus. His favor would be advantageous, if we can spare the workers. Fire has ravaged the trading posts to the south. A careless cook or a particularly combustible business rivalry, I know not. But we should repair the damage.
Tideleis? Raire. Episcuazzo. Chetoimos. Episcuazzo.
Τι δε λέεις? Επισκιουάζω.
Zeus, father of gods and men, witness the temple we raise for you. And if it please you, bless our future endeavors in Asia, that we might make further offerings with the gold of the Persians.
You're getting a firm grip on things here, lad. I've gathered up your father's siege engineers. They're ready to serve.
Brush aside the ashes from your wares and restock your stalls, merchants. And pray diligently to Hermes, that no more misfortune may befall you.
Grave news from Abdera. Their fields are blighted with locusts. They ask you for grain if you can spare it.
Oikodomeo.
Let the Abderans remember this gift, and my generosity to all who serve me loyally.
Τι δε λέεις? Έργωμα. Μεταλλιούω.
A festival is to be held in Lebethra not 2 weeks hence. But they say their cows are lamentably scrawny, hardly fit for sacrifice. Perhaps we can spare a few heifers.
Let them sacrifice. Let them feast. And let them remember whose hand fed both gods and men.
Oikodomeo.
The townsfolk speak of monstrous wolves lurking in the foothills.
Oikodomeo.
What do you say, Alexander? Shall we grab the hunting spears?
As Heracles slew the Erymanthian boar, so we have spared these gentle folk from ravening beasts.
A letter here from Pydna, where the theatre is in disrepair. Dramatic performances, they say, must take place in muddy fields and makeshift clearings, more fit for the rutting of pigs than the display of drama. With stone, they might build a suitable theatre.
Send the stone. Old Aristotle would chide us if we did not.
Treachery afoot, an uprising. Your father knew well how to deal with insurrection. Cut out the rot before it spreads.
Signal fires in the border towns! Send aid!
The throne is mine by right, and I shall not be unseated by some jealous baron.
Ill news from Amphipolis. A terrible storm. Dikes burst, vineyards swept away, the homes of rich and poor alike shattered and broken. They urge you, send them wood and help them rebuild.
The gods have sent ruin to Amphipolis, but they have also sent me.
Oh, the siege engineers are cooking up some real delights for you, Alexander. Your foes won't stand a chance.
Philip was beastly to you. But if he could see you now, he would be impressed. Whether he'd admit it or not.
Nothing I did ever impressed my father. But the things I will achieve, even he won't be able to scorn.
It is said Poseidon favours the Taulantians most among all barbarians. They should not have strayed so far from the coast. None question you any longer, Alexander. Now, my king, let's finish off those tribes. The northern tribes attack the border towns.
They say the getae are the noblest of the Thracians. Noble. They wait for a king to die, and swoop down upon defenseless border towns while his pyre still smoulders.
Pelion's mountains were its bulwark. Now the valleys echo with the sound of its collapse.
None yet stand against me! I could not have done this without you, Hephaistion. As the bard says, a friend with an understanding heart
Is worth